to Debbie's Back Porch. Today we're going to talk about the garden and about supporting tomatoes. And there are a lot of different ways to do that. So I'll show you what I do. Well, we're out in the garden today and I'm going to sort of pan around and show you some tomatoes. And supporting tomatoes is a pretty important thing, especially in a backyard garden. I only have 30 tomato plants this year, but I have had as many as 120. And 120 is too many for us. And so I have 30 plants, and you can see they're in various stages of growth. They're still pretty young. And now is the time to begin thinking about how you're going to provide support. Tomatoes, especially indeterminate tomatoes, actually need some support. And I've tried many different ways to do it. And I've sort of settled on this one, which works the best for us. So I'll show you the basics. If you'll see, we have supports at the end of each bed. They're made out of conduit. There's a piece of rebar driven up in the ground. We fit a piece of conduit over it, and then make a crossbar that provides us support the whole length of the bed. Now, if we had 500 tomatoes or an acre of tomatoes, this would not be practical. But for most backyard gardeners, this is pretty practical and fairly easy to do. And then I have this network of twine, and I'll show you how I do that. It has to be fairly strong twine, but that's really cheap. So you'll see between the rungs of the cage, I have little loops of twine, and they're kind of movable. I have a little play in them, but they're fairly tight. And you can tie as many as you need, and I have a couple tied between each rung, between each section. Then I have here this nifty little invention. It's a tomato clip, and they're really cheap. You can get a bunch of them and use them over and over and over again. They open up, and you'll see there's a little section there where the twine fits, and it holds it pretty steady. So then you just look your plant over. Our goals here are to give the plant some support, to keep the little limbs off the ground, and to keep the plant growing in the direction we want. So you just hook the little clip over the string, over the twine, and around one of the limbs that you want to control. And this works for me a lot better than, say, the Florida weave. But you see, it's holding it in place there. We'll keep it off the ground, and we'll give the tomato plant support to grow in the right direction. So you just look your plant over and see where are branches that need to be up off the ground. Where can I give the plant support? If you need more string, put more string. If you need more clips, put more clips. The reason I say this is an advantage over the Florida weave is because it allows the plant to be open and to get plenty of good circulation. Now, you see I've got these strings all the way up, and I tied them from the top rung to the very top support. Okay, back to Florida weave. The Florida weave sort of scrunches the plant up, and as they get bigger and bigger, you have to use more and more twine. And it may work for some folks, but I'm in Georgia, in the hot, humid South, and yes, we fight blight all the time. So whatever method we use for supporting tomato plants, and you can use any method you like. You know, some people use stakes, some people use just string. This is sort of a combination of a cage and string. But whatever we do, we have to always keep in mind, keep the plant open, keep circulation going. We want the plant to dry out after a rain. We have blight in mind all the time. And to me, this is a system that works well to allow the circulation and to fight the blight, to keep the plant off the ground, and to help support it to go straight up. In my next video, I'll show you some more methods for accomplishing those same goals. We'll talk about suckering. And this is my tomatoes in the same area last year. So you can see they get really tall, and they really need the support, and they really need the room to spread out to get good circulation. And that's what we're doing. Try this if you think it'll be a help to you. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. See you again tomorrow.